This episode of Is This Adulting is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. We'd like to thank new Patreon supporter Adam C., and we'd like to thank Julie C. for increasing her monthly pledge. If you'd like to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/isthisadulting. Thanks.
Hi, this is your best friend Laura from Regina, Saskatchewan, and you're listening to Is This Adulting?
Hey everybody, and welcome to Is This Adulting, a weekly conversation between two best friends navigating adulthood and our struggles with mental illness as overgrown man-children. I'm best friend number 1, Stephen Pappas.
And I'm best friend number 2, the Orlando Kid.
What's your name, Orlando Kid?
That's kind of my name. I made up that nickname for me on the spot, and I immediately regretted it.
I would see how you would. Do you want to just go back to your normal name?
Sure. My name is Christopher.
Christopher what?
Robin. I don't know. Grimmett.
God, it takes so long to get you to just say your name at the beginning of an episode.
I know. It's kind of fun. That's why I do it.
Is it? Or is this when listeners are like, nah, out?
Yeah, whatever. I'm cool with it. But that's just me being the Orlando Kid.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, as many of you can probably hear who are used to listening to this episode, my voice is real gone, y'all. It's given me a real sexy rasp.
What are you talking about, Steven?
I hate you so. What are you, Marlon Brando from The Godfather? No, my voice is apparently dying. I'm going to blame it on all the talking that I did this weekend at DC Podfest. We'll talk more about that later.
You're going to blame it on DC Podfest instead of Orlando?
Yeah, that was
Podfest?
In November.
Wow.
Orlando Podfest was this weekend. Wow, DC Podfest is still with me all the way from November, just struggling. No, I'm going to blame it on Orlando Podfest, which is just Podfest. My bad. But we will talk about that a little later. I don't know. My voice is real raspy, and I'm real self-conscious about it, so I'm just like hesitant to even move on with the show, Christopher.
Well, come on, we can do it. And also, that's not what I'm called, so only refer to me by my real name.
The Orlando Kid.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to start calling you Ryan.
Okay.
Okay, you cool with that?
I guess. That's not what I said, but sure.
Cool, Orlando Kid. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, as always, we're going to start out the week. We want to thank our sponsor, Blueberry, for our new segment, where one of us pitches the other a new podcast that they've been thinking about recently. This week, Chris has got an idea, I hope. We haven't talked about it in advance. Have you got an idea, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, what's up?
Steven, this past week, we spent some true quality time together, didn't we?
Unfortunately, we did.
And we did specifically at what is considered, for many, the most magical place on Earth, otherwise known as Disney World. No, well, we did spend time there, but we also spent time together at Disney World. And oh boy, was it magical, right?
Yes.
Okay, just, you kind of going along with me. Anyway, however, no matter how magical it might be, it's still Florida, and it's super hot, and there's lots of crowds, and it could still be kind of stressful at times, especially if you got kids, or you're trying to navigate through those thousands of people. And so I wanted to provide a space for those to share their stories that were not quite as magical. Maybe someone bumped into you in the line and knocked your drink on the ground. Maybe you had to wait 3 hours for the ride, and then you only waited that long to find out that the ride shut down right as you're about to get onto it. Or maybe you're just at Animal Kingdom and the gorilla threw poop on you. Whatever it might be, whatever your story, we want to hear it on this podcast. It reminds us all that we have the same humanity that we share, for good and for bad, and how even the best places can come with some baggage. Stephen, it's a podcast that I call Happily Never After. Beautiful, isn't it?
That's cute.
I know. See, you thought it was going to be a pun, but sometimes it's just nice and simple.
That's very cute. Also, I think the name of some sort of cartoon from the 90s or early 2000s.
Oh,
maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it is. I don't know. That wasn't my intention.
I don't know. Anyway, it's an interesting idea, but you know that creating a podcast, it's not quite as easy as just recording your show and uploading an MP3, right?
You know I don't.
Cool. We were together for a week. We've talked about podcasting literally for a week in sessions. You should know these things.
Mm-hmm. I should, I agree.
I like your agreement of, yes, I should, but I do not. Well, to get the most out of your show, you're going to need fast and reliable hosting, accurate download stats, easy to set up web pages. Have you thought about any of this?
Good one, Steven.
Yeah, okay. Well, all of that would allow you to focus your time and effort on creating more content. Content like what, Chris? What would you create?
In our first season, we interview Tony, one of the cast members who controls the roller coaster cars for a popular ride. We call this first episode, and I'm going to sing it to you. When they piss inside your car, makes no difference who you are. Even though it's Disney, P is still P. And I haven't thought any more of that song.
I thought for sure you were going to make a Tony's Pretzels reference.
No, I did make up that character a long time, but no, I had to give him homage. But no, this is just the first episode where the dude talks about someone peeing inside the roller coaster car.
Oh, goodness. And for those of you that weren't me or Chris, in Florida, Chris has a new character he's created, which is Tony the Pretzel Vendor. And I'm sure he'll be making appearances from time to time on the show.
It'll come up naturally, though. It's, Tony's.
Yeah, no, but do we think he'll show up ever?
Oh, he probably will.
Okay, good. I like Tony. He's a good boy. All right, well, Blueberry offers you all of your podcasting needs, from hosting all the way up to having a fully integrated WordPress site, so you're not going to have to worry about all that, and you can focus on it.
That sounds pretty amazing, Steven. You like how I cut in a little bit early there? That was my fault.
You did. You were so excited.
I know I was. That sounds exactly what I need, but dang it. I've already started. What do I do?
It's okay. Calm down.
The Orlando kid is freaking out right now.
No need to freak out. It doesn't matter if you already have the podcast or if you've just always wanted to start your own. Either way, you can head over to blueberry.com/BFF. That's blueberry without the e's.com/BFF to get your first month free.
That is good to hear. But, Steven, I got some pretty loyal fans, and I'm not wanting to lose any of my subscribers.
What do you call those subscribers?
The Incredibles. Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh.
It's like a Disney thing.
I was thinking it was going to be a Mouseketeers reference of some kind, but well done.
No, I just wanted to be nice this time.
Well, the Blueberry support team is available to help you migrate your existing show with their free tools, so you're not going to lose any of your subscribers.
Whoopee!
You're very excited. Yeah, so go ahead and get to work on Happily Never After or any other podcast today with Blueberry and get your first month free by using our promo code BFF. We did it. We did a Disney ad. Did we do it? Well, no, not really.
Yes, Disney, so now you sponsor us.
Yes, we need that Disney money. Going to roll in that Disney money. All right.
No one has ever considered going to Disney before today.
No. Why would you go to Disney?
Well, there's a lot of reasons to go to Disney, but
really?
Well, we just did an ad for Disney. Oh, God. You're ruining our chance. Keep going.
Hey, can you come over here? Can I borrow you to the side for a second?
I mean, we're recording, but
I don't care.
Fine.
Can we talk to the side for a second?
Fine.
I was getting ready to start the mental health check, and you interrupted me. Don't you ever interrupt me again, or I swear to Christ, you are off this podcast. Do you understand me?
I'm sorry. It was the Orlando kid. He just captivated me.
The Orlando kid
captivated me soul, apparently.
Me soul.
The Orlando kid is actually Irish.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, don't do it again, okay?
Okay. Hey, love you.
Yeah, love you. All right, so we're going to start this week off just like we do every week with a mental health check-in. So, Chris, how you been this week?
Well, I'm really tired, man. So as Steven has explained, we went traveling, and that was fun. But, if I ever question to myself that have a lot of introvert tendencies, then those questions have been answered after this week, because there were just so many people, and when you end up saying the same thing over and over and over, whenever you go to a new place, whether it's a new job, whether it's, a new different social group, whatever it might be, it can just feel exhausting to not really feel like anyone knows you. Like you don't really have a place to retreat. We only had each other. And and it was just, kind of difficult to handle. And so I was struggling with that, and I think I mentioned before I have bad back problems, and I specifically was having bad back issues this entire week, which it just kind of sucks, and I still really am, and that kind of like, I don't know, it starts putting a damper on you after a while. It starts kind of making you worry and freak out, and I'm like, I'm 28 and I already have this bad back issues. What's going to happen in like 20 years from now, and it starts making me like really kind of concerned, and that makes me anxious. And that being said, I'm glad to be home. It was fun. It was nice to kind of do something different. And I met a lot of new friends, which, you can't, anytime you meet new friends, that's like an encouraging thing. But I think that I'm going to be able to look back at this experience with a lot more excitement once I've had like 2 or 3 nights actual rest. We were not getting tons of sleep, which was making it, much harder. And it was like 12 to 15 straight hours of just nonstop interaction. And I think that just having some time to be back in my normal setting is going to make me feel a whole lot better. So yeah, overall it's actually pretty positive. Just, I think I'm just tired, and when you're tired, usually it feels like anxiety tends to run a little bit higher than it would usually do. You're just extra in your head. Steven, how you been?
Well, as Chris alluded to, we went to I almost called it DC Podfest.
Come on,
Damn
dude.
It. Went to Podfest in Orlando, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So I'm not going to get too much into that and how it affected my mental health completely. But it was a good experience. I think, honestly, while I had some high anxiety moments, getting out of Charlotte was a good thing for me. And being away and being somewhere else. I will say, yesterday was the day I took off, and it was my me day to recharge. And boy, I woke up at like 9, which is sleeping in for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I was awake for 4 hours, and then I fell asleep again at 1 o'clock, and I woke up at 6 p.m.
Jeez.
So, and then I went to bed at 10. So I was barely awake yesterday. I was awake for roughly 8 hours.
Good Lord.
If that. And I want to say that recharged me, but it really still hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been good. I mean, anxiety's been a little bit off the charts here, especially the last few days we were there. I was getting more and more anxious as it kind of got sapped out of me. And even being home, the anxiety's back full force when it comes to the health-related stuff and all that. But I see my psychiatrist tomorrow when we're recording this.
That's good.
Which will be yesterday when you are all hearing this. And we're going to see about a meds adjustment again, see if we're going to stick with what we are for now, if she thinks I'm ready to drop the benzos completely, which I'm torn because 100% I want to be off them, and 100% I don't, because taking half of them away has caused me to be a much more tense, frantic person.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to be off them completely because I don't like taking them,
mm-hmm.
because they're essentially just sedatives. So we'll see. But I guess I'll be back next week to talk about that.
Nice.
So as always, if you have a mental health check-in you'd like to share, or an idea of how we can encourage you throughout the week, you can email us over at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com. And if you'd like it read on the show, or if it's okay to read on the show, just let us know at the beginning of the email, hey, this is okay to read on the show, and we will read them anonymously as well. We are working our way back through our backlog that we kind of fell down on through the holiday season, as we both kind of dealt with some things. And so as we work our way through, we have made it to October of 2017.
We're doing it.
Which is when this one was sent in. And we actually have 2 that we're going to read today because they're both a little shorter. The first one, I will say there is a quick content warning. There's a brief mention of eating disorders. So just remember that going into it. And if you are someone who doesn't need to hear that, maybe jump ahead about a minute and we'll be good. So the first one, this listener actually chose their pseudonym. They are Tina Belcher, which I absolutely love, because if any of you watch Bob's Burgers, I love Tina so much. I love all the characters, but Tina is probably my favorite character. So this again is in October, so I apologize, but it says, this week has been really hard. I broke up with my boyfriend, and because of my attachment issues and PTSD, that triggered a major depressive episode. Even though I know that the feelings will pass, I've been slowly slipping into a worse and worse mental place, and I'd been doing so well before. I struggled with a really severe eating disorder about 2 years ago, and I've been restricting my diet slowly. I've always had a problem avoiding my problems, and I've been getting high every night because it's so much easier to be high than to face myself. Every time I look in the mirror, I see something that is utterly worthless. I'm seeing my therapist soon, so that's a bonus, but I'm honestly still so depressed. On a different note, I really appreciate you guys and your podcast. It helps my mood out a lot and distracts me from myself. You guys are absolutely amazing in every way, and I'm so glad I found you. And that is from Tina Belcher with a big heart. Love Tina Belcher. So, Tina, I know this was in October, and I'm sorry that we are just now reading it. I did read it at the time, and I'm not sure if I actually got back to you on this one. I hope I did, but if I didn't, I apologize. But I hope that everything is going well for you now, and that you're still out there listening and not like, these guys didn't read my thing. Because we do read everything that comes through. Mm-hmm. We just don't have time to respond to every single one right away. So, yeah, I hope things are going well, because at the end of the day, I know what it's like to look in the mirror and feel super worthless. But you're not worthless.
Yeah.
No one's worthless.
And, I mean, I think you and me have both struggled with body issues. And, it sucks enough just struggling with them in general. And then when there's a connection to like a relationship, and when that relationship goes south, it just makes it so much worse. And so much of it's weird how often, like, at least I know for me, and I know it's probably similar for you, like my identity keeps being wrapped so much around my, like, I guess you can say like my physical wrapping, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? Like so much of my looks. Right. And yeah, I just hope that, over those last couple of months, you've been able to find support, and thank you for sharing that, because I think more and more people are struggling with their image and are often just afraid to admit it. And so thanks for your bravery for sharing that.
Absolutely. Now, the next one does have a word at the end of it that's going to tell you just how long ago this one was written. But we actually
Happy Halloween here for
essentially, yeah. We both actually know this person, and so I'm going to reach out from both of us and just check in with them and answer their question privately, because I think most people listening already know the answer to the question. I don't want to make them sit through it. But since we know this person, that is why your wife's name is mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Because it would be weird if we didn't know them.
I guess it would, yeah.
Anyway, so it says, we are calling this person the neighbor. So it says, hi, Stephen and Chris. Scrolling through Facebook last week, I saw Kate's post about y'all, and of course I was curious to see what you two goofballs would talk about on a podcast. Well, little did I know that listening to Is This Adulting is exactly what I needed. Post-college, I've been struggling with depression, and trying to navigate through all the ups and downs of the past 5 years has been exhausting. It's so encouraging that y'all start with a mental health check-in each week. I just started listening, so I'm on episode 5, I think. I really enjoyed the advice y'all offered to people who are supporting those who go through mental illness. I know it's so hard for my mom, and any of the advice she offers up in my low times is by far the last thing I want to hear. Someone being quiet with me when I don't want to talk is the one thing I need in those times. I'm also encouraged by the combination of humorous and serious topics on the show. Y'all are doing great, and I can't wait to get caught up on all the shows. Just curious to hear more about what led y'all to start this, especially with a mental health focus, which I will email you, neighbor, and let you know. Wishing y'all the best this week with the rush and craziness of Thanksgiving. And that is from the neighbor. So we have a Thanksgiving mental health check-in that will air the day after Valentine's Day. So we are right on it. We're big My Brother and Me fans, and I'm thinking that maybe we're just kind of fitting in with them with their lack of ability to get a Jumbotron on the correct day.
Yeah, I understand.
That is our lives.
Yeah. Well, and the only thing I will say to that is the thing that neighbor mentioned a second ago. I honestly have no idea who this is. I haven't seen this one yet. And all I can say is, for a long time, I was personally one of the people that when someone was having a rough time, I would keep offering advice. And even as well-intentioned as that was, I've realized in these last couple of years, specifically when I started struggling, how, even full intention, how harmful that was. Just realizing that literally, even if you said the exact perfect answer, you're usually not able to receive it in that moment. And so thank you for just kind of sharing, and anyone else out there who does the thing that I do and trying to make it better, even if I really am meaning the best from it, just realizing that the best thing you do is just sit there, be quiet, and kind of hold out a hand, you know?
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the mental health check-ins, but we are going to go ahead and get into our first topic. So, Christopher, do you want to intro our first topic? I know you've been having some, let's say, thoughts.
Was that a good transition for you? Do you feel proud of that?
No, I don't.
Hey, it is totally fine. Do not worry. Well, let me explain a little bit about what we're going to do, okay? So, we've done this once before. On the popular website Reddit, for those who've heard of it, some haven't, there is one thing that people do where people share some of the thoughts that they have had come across their mind as they're taking a shower. You know, this is the place where most of us do our best thinking. Yeah, don't get your little creepy look, Stephen. Well, we're going to run through some of these thoughts that people have had while they're in the shower, and we're going to see if we personally can kind of gain some wisdom from these, what I will refer to them as modern-day philosophers. This is a section that we call shower thoughts. Stephen, I'm just going to start running through these, and we can just we can agree, we can talk about them, we can do any of this stuff. Are you ready?
Yeah, it's such an original name.
I know. It's almost like I took it straight from Reddit. All right, so here's my first one that I found, and I really thought this was pretty funny because I started thinking about it. It really made me think, like, wow, how stupid is this? So the first one is, when flirting, biting your lower lip is considered to be sexy, but biting your upper lip is not.
I literally just did it to try to figure it out. I was like, yeah, I get it.
And it's funny because, you know, you imagine like those like commercials where they're trying to like have something like super sexual, and like they're always like the person just like biting their lower lip and just being like, oh dang, I'm so into you. But just
so all the Hardee's commercials from a few years ago that were so problematic.
Yeah, Hardee's, or even do you remember those old GoDaddy commercials from back in the day?
Yeah.
Whatever might be the case, it's so funny for me to imagine like how different it would look if, for whatever reason, we consider it sexual for someone to just bite their upper lip. Because if someone did that, they would just be like, God, what is wrong with them? Do we need to take them to the dentist? Sir or madam?
I hate the dentist.
Do you need assistance? So I just love that. So I had to start with this one. All right, next shower thought. Let's see if this one blows our mind. Buying Halloween candy as an adult is like paying your dues for all the years of free candy you took from other people. And is that not the case? Because, Stephen, do you like getting Halloween candy for children?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Really? I don't.
Well, we have a hard time doing it because the dog freaks out so hard when they ring the doorbell.
That's kind of my point. It's kind of the worst. And it's like, look, we just want to hide, turn the lights off, and just say, look, it's not that we don't want to do this for you, even though I'm going to be completely honest with you. I kind of don't want to do it for people. It's difficult because you have to answer the door every 2 seconds, and you have to be like, oh, look, you must be a ninja or something, and you're trying to guess what they are, and I don't know. It's just like small talk, and I'm not a huge fan of it. And then I also eat half the candy, and so we have to get crappy
Now that
candy.
is true.
Yeah. So whatever the case is, it really is punishment. It's a cycle of punishment, in my opinion. Of, you know what, I did it to these other people who hated it, so now it's my turn to have to be punished. And eventually, if I'm lucky, I'll have children and grandchildren who are punished in the same way.
Did I ever tell you about the lady in my neighborhood growing up that gave out cigars?
No. Does the story end and she was in prison?
Hand-rolled cigars. No. I don't remember what happened. She just gave out cigars. I didn't go trick-or-treating, but I knew the house. And like,
was this
lady
1941 where for some reason
Yes.
children was just openly given tobacco?
No, it was like 2000.
Well, okay. Speaking of crimes, here's the next shower thought.
Okay.
In Grand Theft Auto, everyone drives with their doors unlocked, despite it being a place with severe high crime rates. And I don't don't know if anyone has ever played Grand Theft Auto. Steven, I feel like you have.
Yes, I have.
But it is an amazing point that I feel we should think about for a second, because if you've never played the game, I mean, it's pretty. The name is literally called Grand Theft Auto. You just run around and commit crimes all day long, and whenever you run up to a car, the door isn't it always open, or have they started to lock?
Yeah,
sometimes?
I mean, I don't. Now, granted, I actually, and gamers out there are going to yell into their things. I've never actually played Grand Theft Auto 5, the most recent one, but in all the ones leading up to it, I know at least they were always unlocked. You could run up to any car other than a police car. Police cars were always locked, and or if you tried to open it while the police were inside, they would knock you down and arrest you.
Gotcha.
But any other car that you open the door to, the car just opened. Your character never ran up to the door and tried to open the handle, which is like, shit. And just ran away.
Yeah, that's the most, like, it needs to be realistic instead. And so when you run up, the door's unlocked. You then have to have an awkward interaction where the person's like, hey, what are you doing? And then you just have to try and, like in real time, you have, like, 2 different answers that you have to try and do. But whatever the case is, I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. And this is the same for this next answer. As soon as I heard this, I thought for a long time about it, and I was like, wow, this is a really deep thought. And that is, cell phones have greatly reduced bathroom graffiti. Have you thought about that? When I go to the bathroom now, it used to be, so at least in the men's room, I don't know how it is in the ladies' room, but you go to any gas station and there's like 1,000 different people who have like Sharpied on the wall or just done like random things of just like represent 226 or just something weird. Mostly it's really just sexist and disgusting. And I've never.
That's how I learned the F word.
That's where I learned all my curse words. That and from the wonderful lady who passed out cigars every year at Halloween. Here, kid. Here's your word of the day. But I thought about it and it went, that is so true. I guess back in the day, like people were just bored, and so they're like, hey, I'm going to write every curse word I've ever learned, and make my grandmother not proud of me. But now they just do the same thing, but they do it on Twitter. You know?
That's true. And you're always on your phone in there.
I know. It was just something I thought about and go, you have to think that this was someone who's worked in a gas station for a long time or at a school, and they've noticed all of a sudden.
At a school, for sure.
Significantly, everything starts going down. Like there's not nearly as much graffiti. So I thought that was that's a pretty impressive thought.
Unless you were in the men's bathroom on the ground level of Sanford Hall at Appalachian State University, then it's still happening.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's the one where the entire like first chapter of Harry Potter was written on the wall.
That was pretty impressive. I do remember that. That's commitment right there. What that person did. All right, so here's the next one. The front pocket on a hoodie is basically a widely used, discreet, and acceptable form of a fanny pack.
No.
I kind of feel the same.
I do not agree with this.
All right, in what sense? That it's not a fanny pack or that it's widely used?
It is not a fanny pack because I'm not using it to store things in. Like, when I'm wearing a hoodie, I use it for my hands. That is it. Like, I maybe carry my phone in it, but I'm not, like, I don't have my wallet and my keys and, like, everything stuffed into this thing. Like, I'm only using it to keep my hands warm.
But, Steven, I've seen plenty of people walk around pretty much kangaroo style, having half of their freaking purse in their little hoodie. And every time it's weird because you see it and it's like their belly is sagging in a very weird lumpy way, and you can tell like from the shape everything that it is. Like one thing's super pointy and you're like, why do they have their keys in there? That thing's gonna fall out. I don't even really feel like I use it for my hands or anything like that. I feel like it's just a pretty much pointless pouch. Or is that just me?
I mean, I always or almost always have my hands in my pockets of a hoodie. But my cell phone's about the only thing that goes in there. Yeah.
It just seems like if I ever put anything in my hoodie pocket, it immediately falls out. And it's just it just doesn't seem like a proper way to store things. So I'm gonna go and say yes with this on the fact that it is a fanny pack, whether people want to realize it or not. All right, I love this next one. Okay, Steven?
I'm ready.
the first person to use a fake mustache as a disguise was probably very successful. I just imagine like they're sitting there and like, dude, I got a great idea. And they just like take like a little wig with some scissors, cut it out, and just some duct tape, and just put it on like on their upper lip. And all of a sudden the person's like, holy crap, where'd you go, dude? Just like like it's a bank robber, like, hello there. I'm here for very important business things. And I go, wow, only a person with a successful mustache would ever ask for that type of thing. I don't know. I love that idea because if you've never seen a fake mustache, you have nothing but to assume that it's real.
It's a real mustache.
You know, it's like that doesn't look real, but there's no such thing as a fake mustache. Oh my gosh.
Second time it got used, not at all successful.
It's like, hey, I saw what that first dude did. You're not getting that by me. So I just really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was a really a very wise thought. Next one up. And I think this is a very good point. It says, it's strange that there is a setting on your toaster that completely burns the
toast so bad that you would never. I've had this thought.
What? You know, why do they do it? What's the point of the? I mean, so I don't know. Where's your setting when it comes to where you put the bread? For me, it's usually to like a 6. I feel like I never go past like a 3.5.
If it goes to a 6, if we're going on a scale of 1 to 6, I'm like a 4.5 to a 5. I like real dark crispy toast.
What? It's just
I don't
burnt
like it
by
like
that point.
Burned black, but I like it pretty close.
What's the point of it? It's just a bad taste.
It's not a bad taste.
When it's burned, it is.
I just don't like it like the golden brown. I like it like a dark, crispy brown, not like black burned completely.
Oh,
but
okay. Well, I guess mine is a little bit on the light side, but whatever the case is, it just seems strange that you could even have a setting where it's burned, because anyone who eats completely burned toast, get out of here. Just you and your fake mustache, get out of here. All right, next one. I really liked this one. It says, Google could be lying to us all about how many search results it is actually giving, because no one would actually go that far to check. and I love this one because, I mean, what's the furthest you've ever gone on a Google search?
I have no clue.
I mean,
probably page 7 or 8.
I mean, yeah, I think I'm in the same boat, and that's only if I'm really, really desperate. And like,
so let's see. I'm going to Google search Olympics right now because that happens to be a thing that's going on. Okay, so I have about 236 million results.
Mm-hmm. So roughly how many pages is that?
I'm going to just go ahead and jump to page 10. That's the end.
It's the end?
In order to show you the most relevant results, we have omitted some entries very similar to the 97 already displayed.
Oh.
So they're only showing me like the top 100, and then...
Oh, sneaky Google. See?
I can repeat the search with the omitted results included, in which case I will probably get... Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty funny.
Our listeners probably won't think so, but we find it interesting.
Well, no, it's just kind of funny because it's like one day Google's like, how can we make ourselves look a little bit more impressive? And someone's like, hey, let's just add a bunch of extra O's. No one's ever going to go that far. Hey, that's perfect, Tony. See, I'm going with Tony now. That's my go-to name. But as soon as I saw that, I went, I think that might be a conspiracy that there's some truth to. So well done. Speaking of conspiracies, that there's some truth to.
You know, I love conspiracies.
This one was actually, this was painfully accurate for myself. That was, women of my generation never say that I'm attractive, but my grandmother's friends are always saying what a handsome young man I am, leading me to believe I would have been very good looking if I had lived in the 1930s. Okay, Stephen, what is it about old men and old ladies that they like to compliment younger people's looks?
I don't know, but I'm literally the exact same way. It's always like, oh, you're such a handsome young man. People my age, anyone between the ages of like 40 and 20 is always just like, nope, not you. But once you hit like my mom's age and especially my grandma's age, they're like, oh, you're so cute.
Stephen,
and then once you get past that to my great-grandmother's age, they're like, damn, what a piece of ass.
Stephen, no, this is what I'm realizing. I was like, yeah, that happens a lot. But it makes me wonder, are there certain old people that I come across that don't compliment me, that actually think, good God, that guy looks like a piece of shit? You know what I'm saying? Some of them are just trying to not be nice, and they're like, oh, dear God, he's horrendous looking. He's a monster.
I hope not. Don't put that in my head. You know I have anxiety.
I know. As soon as I read that, I was like, that's hilarious. Wait a second. Why is not every old person telling me how beautiful I am? I need old people everywhere to say how sexy my body is, Stephen.
You know, the only older folks that we have on our Facebook group and stuff, like older folks, I think it might just be your grandmother, so watch out for who you want to call you sexy, because it may happen.
If my grandma is listening, I love you, Nana. All right, this is a good one. This one is, security at every level of an airport is absolutely ridiculous until you get to the baggage claim, and then it's just take whatever bag you want.
That's true.
Why is it so painful to go through that whole process, and then at the end they're just like, you want to get out of here, we want you out of here, just go, we don't care, just take a bag. How often do you think someone takes other people's stuff?
I mean, every day, every damn day. It's got to happen all the time. Can I tell you somewhere where the security is not tight?
Okay.
Disney World.
Oh my God, yes, please explain.
We'll talk about that a little later, but literally Chris had a bag when we were down there, and he had to stop both times going in so they could check his bag. I just walked right into Disney World. No one patted me down. No one wanded me. I didn't go through a metal detector. They were just like, here you go. Come on in.
We trust you.
Yeah, which is very different from the airport when we were flying to Africa, when I got pulled aside 3 times for a pat down.
Yeah. Maybe it's just as an older person that thought you were pretty.
In which case, both?
I guess, yeah, both actually. No. In the airport, someone thought you're pretty and patted you down. At
that
Disney,
seems very inappropriate.
Get to stepping. We don't want you. All right, next one. You know, this one I thought of since we just went on one ourselves. Someone said Google Maps should have a road trip feature that highlights points of interest along your planned route.
Oh my God, yes.
How in the world are we at a point in 2018 where the maps have been around for a long time, and on your trip you don't have the ability to easily just say find nearest restaurant without having to like exit out of the search?
The thing is, like, it seems like an easy feature when we live in a world where I can press a button and someone can deliver McDonald's to my door. I can press a button and a car shows up to pick me up. I can press a button and someone will literally go pick up my groceries for me and bring them to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we live in this world. You can have wine and beer and food delivered to your door at any point, any item through Amazon that you could possibly want. And yet the Roadmap app can't seem to be like, you see the world's largest yarn ball? It's here in Macon, Georgia, and why don't you pull off here and check it out?
Yep. It's
I don't know where the world's largest yarn ball is, and I seriously doubt it's Macon, Georgia, but who knows?
Someone from Macon, Georgia right now is like, that's my city! Yeah!
Yeah, Macon!
They have a lot of city pride. All right, here we go. So the next one. This one is actually more serious, but I loved it. It really made me think for a while.
Bringing it down.
Yeah. So they said, life would be a lot easier if people's physical appearances changed according to how good or bad they treated others.
God, it would be so hot.
Well, no, here's the thing.
And humble, too.
Here's the thing. Would it be a cycle to where the better you are, the more attractive you get, but then you get too confident, and then you start being less bad, and so then you start getting uglier. And so it's a constant reminder of which way you're going. But
and
think about
that, producers, is the season premiere for season 5 of Black Mirror. We just wrote it for you.
Well, my thought is, think if everyone was just super nice to each other and we were all freaking gorgeous. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, it'd be amazing.
We would be walking around and old people would just be drooling left and right saying, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Speaking of freaking gorgeous, by the way, just pausing for just a moment.
Okay.
I've already talked to Christopher about this via text, but I just want to tell all the listeners, if you're not watching Queer Eye on Netflix, what is wrong with you? Go on Netflix and watch the new Queer Eye right now, because it's amazing, and my wife and I have fallen in love with all 5 of the Fab 5, and the first man on there in the very first episode, my wife and I bawled because he was the nicest human being ever, and it was just the most heartwarming, like, reality television moment I think I've ever seen. So, like, go watch Queer Eye. Sorry, I'm back now.
That sounds fun. I'll have to check
It's
that
so
out.
good.
All right.
It's so good.
Well, if you don't have time for this, then you may have, or time for that, you may have time for this time-related thought. And that is, as soon as I read this, it was like painful how true this is. You never realize just how long a minute is until you're trying to perfectly synchronize two different clocks. Oh my God. There are times where, I hate every time the time changes, and you have to go, like, move it up or down because you're sitting there and you're, like, looking at the clock and you're going, well, should I wait until it changes? And so you're just sitting there and you feel like an idiot and you just, like, why does a minute go so fast until I'm sitting here and just, I can, like, think of my entire day in this, like, 40 seconds of trying to just wait. So I thought that was pretty.
That's the best thing about living in a world where most technology is connected to the internet.
Yes.
Is that everything changes automatically and we don't have to really worry about it anymore.
Except for, like, your cars and certain stuff. And, like,
that's true. My car does not do that.
My oven, a lot of the other things don't change. And so that's why I still have to find myself doing it sometimes.
Well, my oven has Wi-Fi, so it changes itself.
Well, all right.
I'm just kidding. I don't know why an oven would have Wi-Fi.
Goodness gracious. Okay, we're going down to the last couple. All right.
All right.
I love this one. This one made me think of just a time when I was younger. And that was, back in the day, sharpening your pencil at the bin was the childhood equivalent of taking a cigarette break.
Yes, absolutely.
I remember how many times you were sitting there and be like, I don't want to do this work. I gotta get my mind off stuff. I'm too stressed trying to figure out what 3 + 3 is. And so you just go up there. And I remember whenever, like, someone would go to sharpen their pencil, I just kind of look and go, you lucky bastard.
And the teachers all knew, because eventually they'd be like, okay, you're done. Like, you're done.
And you're
no, I got to get it real sharp.
Like, how slow can I sharpen this? Just hoping. And someone just from across the room, like, you lock eyes and you both look and go, like, I know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Too bad. And then, yeah, sometimes you get in line and you'd wait to sharpen your pencil, and that'd be, like, the cool, like, bonding moment you'd have in between class, or, like, in between, like, assignments. So that just made me think of more simple times. But I have to get to this one. This one drives me crazy, and I'm so glad someone said it because I agree with him. Handkerchiefs are effing disgusting.
Yes, they are.
Steven, please explain to me why handkerchiefs are still a thing.
No, I have no idea. I could not tell you why they're still a thing. It's so gross. You're just carrying a little snot rag around in your pocket. There's absolutely no reason to do that.
See, there are some people who bring handkerchiefs that if they sweat. And sure, that's still a little bit gross, but I can be okay with that. I can understand and justify in my head why that would be appropriate. Steven, how many times can you blow your nose with a handkerchief before you're just literally carrying around a thing? And then you just wash it. It is so disgusting.
It's not kosher. I'm not here for that.
Yeah, it's just something. Oh, and it makes me think that, they have it in their pocket and then they shake your hand and it's just like, oh my God, get out of here. It's supposed to be classy, but how is that classy?
No, and then, like, the grossest thing is, like, in old movies and stuff, when a quote-unquote gentleman would offer a lady their handkerchief, I'm like, ew, no, don't wipe your tears with that.
Let me help you, darling. And she just rubs it. It's just like, all of a sudden she's got residue on her face.
That's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
Moving on.
All right, and so this will be the last one, and this is the thought I'll leave you with. Okay, Stephen?
Okay.
This modern-day Aristotle pointed this out, and I've never thought about it until this moment. A tie is just a big arrow that points to your genitals. I've never thought of that, but oh dear Lord, I'll never think of a tie in the same way.
No, I can't wear a tie anymore. Not that I just wear a tie every day, but...
Oh gosh, so out there.
Oh my God.
Whenever you see someone with a tie, make sure you're focused on where they want you to.
Oh my God. All right.
And that is some of the wonderful shower thoughts that are going around the internet. If you ever find any fun ones that you want to share with us, please do. And if you have some thoughts on some of the ones that we've discussed today, please go and share them in our best friends group.
Yeah, absolutely. Do that. We are going to take a quick break for our new thing we're going to start doing, which is giving you a recommendation on a podcast you can listen to this week. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hey, best friends. Just want to break in here with a quick suggestion for something you may want to listen to while you're waiting for the next episode of Is This Adulting? This week, our pick is going to be the Girl in Space podcast. This is a podcast by Sarah Werner. It is an audio drama, and it's fantastic. Abandoned on a dying ship in the farthest reaches of known space, a young scientist fights for survival and patience with the onboard AI. Who is she? No one knows, but a lot of dangerous entities really want to find out. Listen bi-weekly as the story unfolds for science, guns, trust, antimatter, truth, beauty, inner turmoil, and delicious cheeses. It's all here in space. And also at girlinspacepodcast.com. We're back, and it's game time, Chris.
Are you ready?
I've never been more ready in my whole life. I'm excited. What game are we playing? Let's do it.
We are playing a game that it's been a little bit since we played, and I'm super excited.
Noise Boys.
No, but I promise you, Noise Boys is coming back. Don't you worry.
Oh, God, is it?
Oh, it will come back, and we'll find a different way. And, hey, I heard some people say they actually like Noise Boys, so we'll figure it out. No. This is a game that we refer to as News or False. That's right.
There he is.
You thought that I would never come back, but you were wrong. You can hide your kids, hide your wife. Don't worry, I'm here. But seriously, let's keep going. For the famous game that everyone wants to sing from around the world, Steven, join with me. News or false. Yeah. What I'll do is I will find some crazy things that have happened in the news, and you have to guess if it is in fact news or if I've made it up in my tiny little head. I just insulted myself. Oops. That makes me feel insecure.
Well
Let's
played,
go.
sir.
Done. All right. Steven.
You shift out of that real fast. All
I
right,
know, I
cool.
do.
What's up?
Steven, you have to tell me if by just reading this title, is this news title true or news, or is it false?
Okay.
Thieves steal delivery of 200 pigeons from a California woman's front porch. Is it news or is it false?
False?
The answer is... Congratulations! It's actually
Yay.
something much more uncomfortable.
Oh, God.
Thieves steal 500 live cockroaches from someone's mailbox in California.
No.
So
Why?
here's the fun story about this. The best part is...
Hold on. I have so many questions.
Please, I can answer all of them because I'm a master.
Why were there 500 cockroaches?
Well, you haven't let me read the story yet.
Why were they delivered to her front door?
Mm-hmm. They also weren't
stolen?
delivered. They weren't delivered in the front door. They were put into a mailbox.
That's scary. Why were they stolen?
Oh,
And
once
what
again,
is the black market value of cockroaches?
okay. Well, that's what's good about this. I can answer the last question. The rest of the questions will be answered when I read the story to you. They were not aware that there were 500 cockroaches. So I'm going to refer to I'm going to attempt to pronounce this correctly. I'm not really sure what this is. And an entomologist, which I'm assuming studies bugs of some sort.
Studies bugs.
Ordered 500 cockroaches for a study that she says, or for a study she was doing. However, they were stolen from her mailbox. Her name is Rosalinda Vizana, was studying these roaches, and a neighborhood in her local neighborhood in California was starting to experience an increase in mail theft over those last couple weeks. So one of the boxes had been left open, and it looked like it was pried open while all the rest of the mail was gone. So the post office was telling this is what she's saying. The post office was telling us about the mailbox thieves, that it's been happening down the street and that you should try and protect your packages of any sort. However, the police thought that they were trying to steal something like tax returns or W-2 forms, which had been pretty common being stoled. However, these people got more... Stoled. I'm not the best at reading. Don't get me wrong, I'm just the Orlando kid. But the thieves got more than they bargained for when they accidentally stole a box that they were not aware of. There were 500 live cockroaches in it for the study she was doing.
They were live.
Mm-hmm, they were live. Rosalina, she pretty much was saying that she felt bad for the roaches and she hoped that nothing happened to them. But at the same time, she said, for the thieves, I hope that they went everywhere.
Oh my God! who feels bad for the roaches?
I mean, an entomologist probably does. She was doing a study for them.
I guess.
Can you? I just want to pause for a second and imagine, like, these people stole all these packages. They get back to the house and they're like, "Yeah, Jerry, come on." Apparently, that's what that's what thieves' names are. Is Jerry? Let's look at all the cool loot that we just got. And they open. Oh, sweet! This is totally like an Amazon package. And they open it up, and then probably that's when they died. Out of pure panic, because I can't even imagine not only opening it up. I want to imagine it's either in their house or in their car, one of the two, and they open up and the cockroaches go everywhere, and then they have to spend the next little bit just trying to either not freak out or to get all of the cockroaches from it.
Yeah, no, at that point I'm done with thieving forever. Thieving is a no-go. Like, that dog won't hunt. Like, no, not doing that.
So if anyone has a theft ring going on in their neighborhood, just everyone order live cockroaches. That should solve crime by itself.
You know what to do.
Stephen, congratulations. You got the first one correct. But is it possible that you can get the second one correct with this very shocking next news title? You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Man's rectum falls out after he spends 30 minutes sitting on the toilet.
This seems hazardous. I'm scared.
Stephen, is that news or is it false?
I'm really horrified to say that it's news.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You're 2 for 2, and this is an uncomfortable one.
I don't
if it's
wanna be
uncomfortable for
right.
you, imagine me having to see the X-ray of this. A man was rushed to the hospital after his rectum fell out of place because he had been sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes playing video games. He was taken to the hospital when he noticed because he noticed a ball-sized lump had fallen out of his backside in the middle of the night. Oh my God. Ugh. Doctors diagnosed him with rectal prolapse, which is when the rectum loses its attachment to the body. Dear Lord, that's an actual thing. It was still attached to his rear, Stephen, and medics said that they believe the condition could have happened because he was sitting on the toilet for half an hour playing video games. Stephen, that is
we all?
That is the most horrifying thing that's ever happened to me. And now I am, just when I thought I was most afraid of toilet snakes, I found a new fear on the toilet that I might be more truly horrified by, and that is my rectum falling out of my body.
Oh God, I'm never going to the bathroom again. I'm just gonna live my life the way I am now.
Stephen, do you want to see the X-ray?
No, I don't want to see the X-ray.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm 110% sure.
It is truly one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
I'm glad that you've seen it and not me. We're not going to post that in the show
Stephen,
notes, right?
Let me just explain to you and the listeners. Let me be fair. When I saw this, I knew there was a possible risk that I'd see it, but I was thinking they're probably not going to show it. Now, they didn't show an actual picture of it. They just showed the X-ray. But still, it was enough to leave my mind scarred forever. And that is, Stephen, have you ever seen like a map? And on the map, there's a delta?
Yeah.
Let's imagine that the rectum was the delta. And the land was the bum. That's what it looked like, and when I first saw it, I actually screamed.
I believe you did.
Yes, so for everyone, play your video games not on the toilet, apparently, because that is the most horrifying thing that's ever happened. And with this, Stephen, this is your final one. Can you go a perfect 3 for 3? Huh?
Okay.
Oh, you like that sound effect?
I do.
Oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that earlier. All right, anyway. Missouri woman finds neighbor's dog riding a one-eyed pony. Stephen, is this news or is this false? For perfect 3 for 3.
This is hard.
I know. I intended it to be hard.
It's news?
This is Stephen. Perfect. 3 for 3. Well done. It is news. Let me tell you a little bit about this fun story.
Please do.
A dog, which was a corgi, riding a one-eyed pony into the night is surely a spectacle that needs video proof. A Missouri woman made sure to get exactly that. The Springfield News Leader reports that this woman pulled into her driveway Thursday to the sight of her neighbor's corgi sitting on her horse, Cricket. She recorded a 15-second video of the pony trotting away into the darkness as the canine sit atop it looking at the camera. Oh my gosh. She posted a video with a message saying, "I can't make this stuff up, so we pull into our driveway tonight, and this is what we see. This is not our dog." But apparently him and Cricket, the one-eyed wonder pony, are best friends. The video has received 5.3 million views as of Tuesday morning, which I think is of this past Tuesday morning. Yeah. Steven. It's a one-eyed pony named Cricket and her best friend, Corgi, which for some reason doesn't have a name.
Best friend Corgi. Well, I found a video. Hold on. Oh.
You found it.
It's
funny, isn't it? I know, it's just little corgi
riding away into the night. Goodbye.
Honestly, is it cute? Or like if it's nighttime and you drive up, do you honestly feel this is more of like a weird Twilight Zone experience where like, oh shoot, what's about to happen?
No, it's hilarious. Just because as the pony starts to like speed up and gallop faster, the dog looks back at them just like, farewell.
You never saw this, and you never will. I just imagine that was the moment when the corgi slowly lifted up its paw and just was like, shh, and just rode away. And the corgi's like, Cricket, don't look at this, and covers the one eye with its paw. Corgi's
the one-eyed pony is a weird.
Also,
it sounds like a bar from Lord of the Rings.
The one-eyed pony. Oh gosh, that's the bar that I went to in college. What can I say? I was a partier. The Orlando kid was. Steven, congratulations! You literally went 3 for 3.
I mean, I'm excited.
Until next time, this has been News. Steven, say it with me. News. Steven, I'm going to keep doing this till you say it. News.
I did news.
Okay. One more time. No, Steven. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Just 1 second. We're having some technical difficulties. Steven, why don't you walk over real fast over here with me? Will you do that?
Uh-huh.
If you don't freaking say news or false, I'm going to take that one-eyed pony and I'll have it eat your kin.
My kin?
Yes. Eat your
now,
kin. That's the most southern thing I could have ever.
My family or my collection of Ken dolls?
Both. That's how serious I am. Will you get back over here and do this freaking thing already?
Yeah. Sorry.
Here we go. All right. Sorry about that technical difficulty. And here we go. All right, Steven. Until next time, this has been News or False. Boom.
I'm sorry I disappointed you.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm used to it by this point.
All right. Well, we are moving on to our final topic, which is Podfest. I tried to make it all epic, but it's not epic. It's Podfest. We're going to talk about Podfest 18, which is where we have been since roughly the day before last week's episode aired. So we were there from last Wednesday until Sunday evening when we finally got home. And what it is it's Podfest Multimedia Expo. And what it is just like a large gathering of people involved in the podcasting community, be it hosts or tech industries or vendors or speakers, or hosting platforms, different places like that, equipment. Just a big old lovely place.
So you can finish that sentence?
I couldn't think of anything. My brain is kind of fried still because of all the social interaction. So we're just going to walk you through our week. And if you're sitting here going, all right, this is about the time of the episode where I check out because I don't want to hear about this conference you went to, I need to tell you.
Oh, this is
definitely want to hear about this.
This is not an ordinary conference, y'all. Some crazy things went down.
Multiple things happened. One, we had honestly the best luck of any two humans on the face of the planet. Two, Chris had the best fucking day of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And three, I'm just going to say VIP room. That's all I'm going to say. And we'll get to it later. Plus, we met so many lovely human beings. So, shall we start? Shall we begin the quest?
Let's do it.
All right. It started on 8 a.m. Wednesday morning.
Boom.
I sound like the library recording. Due back 8 a.m. Wednesday morning.
Library recording.
That doesn't happen anymore. But do you not remember the old library recording?
Yeah, I know. I just wasn't prepared for that very old reference.
Yeah, sorry. Children, there used to be this thing called a library, which still exists, but no one uses. And if you work for a library, I'm sorry, I go to the library. Anyway, I'm trying to get out of this hole.
I just let you like dangle by yourself there.
Yeah, thank you for that. 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, we shoved off from Charlotte, North Carolina, heading for Orlando, Florida. And it took us away to avoid traffic. Mm-hmm. And I remember multiple times looking at Chris and just going, where the hell are we? And his response was always a weird smile and, I don't know.
Yeah, this was deep, deep America. Places that no one has seen. No one has heard.
There were mile stretches where we saw no one. I mean, no people, no cars.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, are we sure we're going to Florida? And not to our untimely deaths.
Both could have been equally true at that point in the trip. But we didn't die. We made it onto the open road, and there's really not much interesting about our drive down that I can think of. We went to Florida, and so we got there Wednesday about probably 6 o'clock, because Florida traffic, Orlando traffic was the worst. Mm-hmm. And we got there about 6 o'clock, and we stayed with Diane and Denise from History Goes Bump.
Woot woot!
It was amazing. They are lovely people and lovely hosts. So wonderful. If you don't listen to their show, you should be. They were on one of our episodes here, I guess, in October. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Chris had missed that episode, so this was the first time he met them. Mm-hmm. And they're lovely. I will say, it's intimidating because Chris finally met Denise, not realizing sweet Denise has just a 7-degree black belt.
I need us all to pause for a second and realize that there's more than just a black belt. In fact, there's different degrees that I didn't know of, especially not 7 of them. But she's a master, y'all. And she could straight up break my little baby fragile body with just one touch.
Yes. It was... Well, for me, that would have been entertaining, but... They were speaking at the expo, too. I can literally imagine
she would have just barely punched my body, and I would literally have been turned into dust.
Oh, and how fun it would have been.
From dust I come, and from dust I shall return, according to Denise and her powerful fist of fury.
In all actuality, though, sweetest people ever.
Yes.
And we got there Wednesday night, and we started looking at the events for the thing on Thursday, and we're like, you had to pay for these extra sessions on Thursday. So we came down and each took off work extra early for a day that we essentially can't go to until 5:45 or 6 o'clock that evening for this like meet and greet thing.
We didn't read.
Yeah, we did not read. And so Chris and I were like, dang, well, we have no money. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to kill time in Florida? And the answer was quickly given to us. Denise works for Disney and had to be at work at 5 a.m. that morning. Had to get up at 3 to get there. And yet she was running around the house at like midnight when Chris and I were up. And I was like, what's happening? I hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
And so Chris was not really feeling too sleepy and was having some trouble getting to sleep. Our fragile North Carolina boy bodies were having trouble adjusting to the heat of Florida. Mm-hmm. And so we were warm, and he was having trouble getting to sleep, so he took a sleeping pill.
Yes.
And I went to bed as well. And then we awoke.
And then I woke up on Sunday.
Yeah, I know, and that was the event. All right. Thank you for listening to Is This Adulting?
This was a weekend at Bernie's thing, the entire weekend. I didn't even know any of that happened.
No, so I went to bed too. And then I woke up. And thus began the greatest day of Christopher Tyler Grimmett's life.
Oh,
which
yes,
he told
it
me
was.
and his wife that it was the greatest day of his life. So I woke up to Diane coming into the room I was sleeping in. She said, "Hey, Steven." And I was in that place between wake and sleep. And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And she's like, "I got something for you if you'll come here." And I was like, "Yeah." So I came out and she was like, "We have these complimentary tickets that are park hopper passes to Disney World. And we're not going to use them because we have season passes and she's a cast member, so she gets in for free. So while we're at work today, y'all take these, go to Disney." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And they were like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last ones we had expired, so please go." And I was like, "Okay." And so I went to wake Christopher up because it was 8 o'clock. The parks opened at 9. And I wake Chris up. I knock on the door. I go in and I go, "Chris, hey, bud." And I get this response. I get,
Yes.
And I go, "Hey, how drowsy are you?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm pretty drowsy." I was like, "Okay, because I got these complimentary park hop passes to Disney World." And y'all, I lived with Chris for 4 years. I've known this kid for 10 years. We've stayed overnight at places. I have never seen him get out of bed so quickly. He went from horizontal to vertical so fast.
How out of the ashes I arose.
And he was like, "Let's go." And he's packing a bag. He's like walking me through Disney like he's my mom. And he's like, "Okay, do you have this? Let's get this." And off we went to Disney. And that was a magical moment that was created for us by Diane and Denise. So thank you to them for that. And we went to Animal Kingdom, which I hadn't been to any Disney park since I was around 12.
And guess what we saw?
We saw a baby hippo.
A baby hippo. Ah, it's so cute.
Chris was having so much fun looking at the animals. I will say, having been to Africa and been on a real safari, I was a little terrified when we were on the safari ride, and there was a rhino literally almost right up against the car we were in, and I'm like, "Oh, there's no fence there. He could just walk up to us if he wanted." And I was a little scared by that. There was a baby hippo.
I call him
Gus-Gus.
Gus-Gus.
Very precious. Gus-Gus?
Oh,
Gus-Gus.
baby hippo.
God's greatest creation. And so we ended up doing that, and we walked around. It was real hot. We went to the Lion King experience where they sing and dance, and I was informed by Christopher that what we were watching was a definitely February talent.
I feel bad, but I've seen that show a few times, and it was still good. But there's a few people that weren't quite as strong as the original cast I'd seen.
And so we walked around Animal Kingdom for a little while, and yeah, that was kind of it. And then Chris agreed that we could go to a much better park.
Ouch.
Not in Christopher's eyes. Because unfortunately Gus-Gus was not there. Or was he? We'll never know.
Gus-Gus is inside of us the whole time. I know that's what the case is, right?
It is a Disney related thing, so I'm sure that the truth was inside us the whole time. We found the treasure. It was our hearts. Our friendship is the treasure. Anyway, so we went to Disney Hollywood Studios, and we then proceeded to go to every single Star Wars themed attraction that you can imagine. And so we went from Chris's best day to Steven's best day. And we walked around. I did the Muppet ride, which I haven't done since I was 9 years old, which is really less a ride and more just a 3D show.
More like just sitting down.
Rides. Yeah, well, you know what? At my age now, I'm like, I'm good with just sitting in a room and watching things in 3D.
Especially with air conditioning.
Yeah. And so we went around. We went to the Star Wars Legacy building or whatever. They had like actual props and stuff from the movies. I was rejoicing. I almost bought $100 bottle of Skywalker wine, even though I can't drink on my meds for whenever I come off them, just to celebrate with that. It was a glorious, glorious time. I tried to follow Ray and BB-8 and meet them, mostly Ray, but there was a 25-minute line to meet any of them, and I was like, not doing that. I am a grown man. Yeah. I realized that that's not actually Daisy Ridley.
Well, Steven, speaking of that, though, it is interesting I've gone to Disney a couple times. I've been lucky to do that. But it's very interesting just going to Disney with your adult friend only, because it's just a very different experience. Because I've always gone with like family members, and so it's just like ride the ride with your mom or so and so, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's just me and Steven and a bunch of parents and their 8-year-old children.
And it was awesome. Minus we did Star Tours, and speaking of anxiety, I had a panic attack on Star Tours.
I mean,
I literally thought I was going to die.
It was a very intense ride.
It was a lot more jarring than I remember. They've now put it in 3D, which made me extra nauseous. And I do not get nauseous on rides, but I literally halfway through was sweating bullets, and just I thought for sure oh, this is how I go on Star Tours. Isn't this horrifyingly poetic that I die doing the thing I love most? So we finally left. We went and grabbed some dinner, which took forever, and we were running late. And we went to this first thing, which was a strategic alliance, which is where you go around to different tables and introduce yourself and kind of network with people. And we had some interesting folks at our tables, to say the least. A lot of business-minded people. A lot of financial podcasts, accounting podcasts. We realized we were the only comedy podcast there, except for the guy who was going to be on the panel with us the next day. And so during our downtime, though, afterwards, I went and talked to Chris Kremitzos, who, big shout out to Chris Kremitzos. I know he's not listening to this probably, but thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come down there. Him and John both, who put it all together. They were incredible. It was an incredible experience, and I'm so grateful for that. But we get down there, and I go talk to Chris, and he goes, hey, so this guy who was going to be on your panel with you tomorrow didn't make it to Florida, so it's just you two. So I'm going to see if we have any other comedy podcasters here and ask if they'll be on the panel. And so he gets the mic, and he makes an announcement while we're sitting up there, and he goes, hey, do we have any other comedy podcasters in the house? If we do, if y'all will just come up front real quick, and we just need to talk to you for just a second. About 5 minutes later, no one's come up. And it's just me and Chris Kremitzos sitting on the edge of the stage. And he's like, yep, it's just an Is This Adulting panel now. I was like, great. Meanwhile, Christopher is having arguably the greatest experiences of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to elaborate, Christopher?
Oh, Stephen, would I? There were two people at this podcast convention that I was not prepared to be there, specifically because I was never prepared to meet these people in my life, and I can't even imagine what it was like back then, not meeting these two American heroes. So
even though, very excitingly, before you met them, you met another individual who we didn't really think we would get a chance to meet while we were there, which is Drew.
Oh, yes, and
Drew Ackerman, who does the Sleep With Me podcast, if any of you use that.
Yeah, and he helps people be able to get to sleep who struggle. I've used it for so long. He was absolutely incredible. I talked with him for a good time, for a good amount of time. So Steven, he became a friend, and maybe we can do something together sometime, because it was absolutely incredible. He's such a great guy. But later in the evening, I met two heroes of mine from when I was just a small lad. The first one I think it's important to talk about is now, everyone must remember that I'm a country boy. If you don't remember that from just hearing my voice on a regular basis, then let me remind you what I used to do in my spare time as a child. And that was, we would go and watch monster truck rallies. And my favorite monster truck driver, as well as most, is the driver of Gravedigger. Gravedigger is, for anyone who knows what I'm referring to, is needs no introduction, because it's the epitome of all things beautiful and right in this world. And all of a sudden, we're sitting there, and it's a lot of people. It's a little overwhelming. I've been at Disney all day. And then Chris, the host of the thing, says, we just want to thank so much the driver of Gravedigger from coming. And immediately my eyes shot over there, and I went, I will find that man. I will shake his hand, and I will become his friend. And no, Stephen, did I. We bonded together, and it was beautiful. And I thought that my night couldn't have got any better. But then it did, Stephen.
I know it did.
I met a man that that many people know because he's famous from back in around 2004, probably something like that.
Yeah, 2003, 2004.
If anyone has ever watched the popular show American Idol, one of the first seasons, one of the most popular contestants to really ever be on American Idol was a man by the name of William Hung. He's specifically popular for singing Ricky Martin's She Bangs. Well, Stephen, I met William Hung, and let me say first of all, how lovely it was to meet him and how amazing it was. It was a dream come true. It truly was. But simultaneously, just in all seriousness for a second, I have some mad respect for this dude because at the end of the day, that was an experience that had to be traumatic. I mean, like a lot of people were making fun of him and all type of stuff. And I want to be completely honest and transparent. This was back in 2004. I was younger. Like, I found myself probably making fun of him too, and thinking he was the butt of the joke. And I've obviously changed a lot since then, and I just admire him so much for being able to, like, his podcast is all about taking something that was an extraordinary event, but being able to use it and shape your life in a good way. And respect to him, I really do have mad respect for that. And he was a super nice guy, and he wore a nice, cool, awesome suit, and I complimented on him, and he liked me, and I'm best friends with William Hung now, so deal with it, Steven.
And I'll tell you exactly how I knew that William Hung is Chris's best friend, and that is we were standing outside, Rhett Hall and I were standing outside talking, and we had just met, and we were having a lovely conversation, and Chris comes marching up to me and interrupts and goes, "Steven." I was like, yeah. He goes, "I just met effing Gravedigger and William Hung. I have to go call my dad."
Oh, I did. And he was so excited. And then I called my wife, and she was so excited. And then I pretty much paced for the next 20 minutes, just going around being like, I don't even know what to do. I may have just peaked.
Yeah. That's as big as we'll ever get, guys.
It was amazing. And I'll never forget that day. That's all I have to say. Yep.
And so Chris called his cousin on the way home, and we did that. Yeah, I guess we got up pretty early, came back on Friday, had a good day on Friday. We did discover on Thursday night that we had, as speakers, access to a VIP lounge with free massages anytime we wanted them, and literally a mini fridge full of cheesecake.
Okay, well, let's clarify a few things. One, a massage whenever we want them. There was one masseuse, and you had to sign up for time.
You had to sign up for slots. But, I mean, we could have filled the sheet if we wanted.
I mean, we could have, but we would also have been shunned. Also, this was something that was fun. Don't get me wrong. The VIP room was an amazing place. But it was funny because there were like 100 people who had access to the VIP, so it quickly became one of those things like, I'm a VIP, and so are this entire room of people. And so it was funny. It was a very humbling thing at the same time, which I actually kind of appreciated.
Oh, yeah. And it was, I mean, again, I think we glossed over the main good thing about the VIP room, which is there was a cheesecake refrigerator.
Yeah, and they were like little cheesecakes in little like baby mason jars, which were pretty adorable.
And delicious.
They were.
So
Leanne's
delicious.
Cheesecake, is that what it was?
Leanne's Cheesecake, yes, in Orlando, Florida. Check them out.
Yeah, they were real good.
So good. Anyway, so we came back the next day, and really, honestly, other than the fact that we went to a few panels, all we got to say for that day is, damn, did we network. We met a lot of people. We met a lot of vendors. We spent the whole morning just kind of talking to different folks and doing different things. Then at 1 o'clock or 1:30, we went to see Diane and Denise do their history panel, and that was fun. And we had to jut out just a few minutes early because then we had to go do our panel, which literally, as I said, was our panel at this point. It was just the two of us answering to a room of 30 or 40 people.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And right before I went on stage, y'all, I realized that there was a hole ripped in the crotch of my pants, and I was sitting elevated on a stage on a bar stool so that my legs were up. And so I embraced it and just told one half of the room they were going to get a show, in the other half of the room, I was very, very sorry.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was like a vortex that opened straight into his pants.
Yeah, it was. And so the hole in my pants became a running joke for the rest of our panel. Had a lot of fun, had some really good questions from people, and we got to really show people that you can't really have comedy without the serious side. And so we were really able to get the message of what we like to do with the show out there, and that was a wonderful and beautiful thing. So we did our panel. We woke up the next morning. I'm glossing over some stuff. We woke up the next morning and went to a panel on audio dramas with some people we had met there, and that was great.
Steven still had a hole in his pants.
Still had a hole in my pants because I had only brought a few pairs of pants here, and so I just wore the holy pants for a while. Yeah, we did a lot of different things, but there was a lot of socialization. So this is where I want to kind of talk about some of the people we met. And this isn't me going, oh, we met these big name podcasters, and because that's not what happened.
Question. Is there a reason when you brag, you also sound very sexual?
Yes. I don't know. That's just my bragging.
Oh, we met so many good podcasters. Excuse me while I bite my upper lip.
I'm sorry. I have trouble ever since the hole in the pants incident. My holy pants have just taken over my body, and I am one with them, as though the symbiote suit from Spider-Man 3 has taken over my body. Anyway, we met some amazing folks while we were down there, and we mentioned a few of them. Drew Ackerman from Sleep With Me was an amazing and humbling human being to meet, and then I realized, oh my God, he's just like us. He's a normal man.
Gravedigger.
He is not
not
god.
Just like us.
No, Gravediggers. I didn't meet Gravedigger. I can't say anything. I literally didn't hear a word William Hung said all weekend because I always seemed to be out of the room when he spoke.
Beautiful, beautiful man.
But we met some folks, y'all, and this is just bear with me for a few minutes while I talk to you, because this does have to do with mental health. We met some folks that were really, really good for my mental health. And so we met Caitlin and Travis, who do the White Tapes, which is an audio drama horror show. They also do a show called The Liberty Podcast, which I've been binging both. The White Vault. The Black Tapes is what I was thinking of. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mixed them up. The White Vault. I'm literally wearing their shirt right now. You think I could have said their podcast name right. Sorry, y'all. They do the White Vault. They also do the Liberty Podcast, which is incredible. They're wonderful. They're so sweet. I bought a bunch of merch from them because their comic that they have based in that universe is really cool. We met a couple folks, Erie and Jake, who do a few different podcasts. The main one of which is Jim Robbie and the Wanderers, which is another audio drama. And we went to dinner with them one night, and I had kind of a rough night that night, and Chris and I ended up bickering a little bit at dinner because we were trying to take care of each other and in the process hurt each other's feelings. And so we were not being as open and honest. So these lovely humans just sat there and became part of the conversation in a good way, not in a nosy way. That was incredible. And then we met who I guess I would have to say is become our new best friend, and literally has joined the best friends group. So is a best friend, which is Sarah. Sarah Werner. She does the Right Now podcast, which is about writing. And she also does the Girl in Space audio podcast, which you just heard as our pick of the week for the show to go and listen to this week. We binged it on the way back from Florida, and it's so good, y'all. It's so fun. If you like sci-fi, it's just a really fun little audio drama adventure to get into. And I can't wait for season 2. But Sarah and Chris and I had a lot in common, which was we didn't necessarily always like being around large crowds.
And by didn't necessarily did not like.
Did not like, yes. And so Sarah became kind of not only a good friend, but an escape for us, as well as we became an escape for her. And it was a matter of, hey, I'm going to go to Starbucks because there's too many people here. I'm going to walk across to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee. Do you want to walk with me? And she was like, yes, please. So we'd go, we'd spend 20, 30 minutes, recharge a little bit, and come back. Or, the last night we were there, we were going to go to another meetup afterwards. We'd been through multiple parties, multiple things. and we were going to go to another meetup, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this. But I put on a brave face, and we were headed there, and traffic was bad. And finally, Chris and Sarah both were like, do you want to just U-turn in the parking garage and go get froyo? And everything within my body loosened, and I was like, yes. Thank God, because I was so tense thinking of going to another social thing. I was just so stressed because as an introvert, I was so tapped out of energy. And so we went and we did that. And we probably sat there and ate frozen yogurt for 2 hours. Well, we got frozen yogurt and we spent 2 hours talking. We did not eat frozen yogurt for a solid 2 hours.
By the end, we were just drinking the yogurt.
Yes. No, it was good, and that was great, and we're going to have her on the show in the very, very, very near future, and I'm really excited about that. But we met some just incredible people who very much advocate for breaking stigma. They're kind, they're funny, and they care. And the thing we walked away from this thing the most with was this realization that convention is such a community. And so many people there are there to be friends and to meet friends and network that way rather than just, I'm good for your business, you're good for my business, let's embrace it. No, I met people there that I'm planning on keeping up with for the foreseeable future, for as long as I'm around. You know, it's cool to meet people and know, like, these are new friends rather than just, I made business connections this week, you know? And it was an incredibly powerful thing. For all of us there with the same drive and the same passion to be there to support each other. And it just makes me more excited for the different conferences that I'm going to throughout the year, because now not only am I going to meet new people, I'm going to see the same people that I saw here, and I'm going to see them at another conference in another part of the country, and it's going to be great to sit down and catch up and chat and see how they've been doing. So it was a fun week. It was, you know, I'm exhausted, you're exhausted, but I wouldn't go back on it. Even the moments when I was stressed and anxiety filled, like, I still think that was a very good experience for me. Pushed me outside of my comfort zone in a very good way. And I ate so many beef Wellingtons at the closing party that I may have gotten sick.
Steven, I met Gus-Gus the baby hippo. I'll be honest with you. Everything else could have been horrible. That would have redeemed it.
What about Gravedigger?
Oh, I mean, that's just an extra plus, but it all started with none other than Gus-Gus. I like how we're
coming up Gus-Gus.
That sounds more like I had too many beef Wellingtons, and now I'm being a little bit sick.
What? Everything's coming up Gus-Gus?
Yeah. The doctor comes. Christopher, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but tests have come in, and everything's coming up Gus-Gus. Oh God, no!
Oh my gosh. All right, well, I think with that, we are going to wind it down. Thanks for listening to us share about our experience. We just kind of wanted to let you in on that. We posted pictures in the Best Friends group the whole time, and we're going to be connecting with other hosts we met down there and getting some brand new people on the show. So it should be pretty fun. If you'd like to send us a topic for discussion or a mental health check-in, or you have anything else on your mind, remember, like I say every episode, we are not professionals, but we are here to listen. You can send that to us over at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com.
And if you want, please keep up with all the things that we're doing on social media. You can follow us over on Twitter. Our handle is @isthis_adulting. You can find us over on Facebook, either on our Facebook page, Is This Adulting, or if you, more importantly, want to be a part of a really amazing support community, both for serious things as well as super just goofy, fun things, just go to the Best Friends group podcast. It's called Is This Adulting Best Friends. And if you have any trouble with that, please just go to the website. You can find it there. Our website is isthisadultingpod.com. And then while you're there, if you want to check out everything from our show notes where it talks about different games and things we've done in the past, if you want to find out different ways you can support the show, how you can get in touch with us, join the movement around breaking the stigma around mental health, getting some cool merch at our merch store, whatever it is, you can go there and find that at our website. And then finally, if you can help us spread the word, we want people to be able to feel that they can share their struggles and feel they can do it openly and honestly. And the best way we can do that is if we grow the show and make more people realize that it's it can be a really relieving, transforming thing to find supportive people out there. And the way we do that is by subscribing to our show, giving us a rating and review, just so other people can hear about our show too.
Absolutely. And as you have noticed probably with some of the things we're leaving out throughout the episode, we are kind of doing some different things with formatting, with some pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll things. So just kind of changing up the format a little bit so this part here at the end isn't quite so long, and so that we can get right into that mental health check-in at the beginning. So hope you guys are cool with that. You'll hear all the rest of the information after our sign-off if you want to stick around and hear all about where you can buy that good merch. We'd like to thank the collection for the use of our theme music, The Borrowers, off their album Ars Moriendi. That's going to do it for us here this week on Is This Adulting? I've been your best friend, Steven.
And I've been your best friend, Chris.
And remember, kids, be happy, stay healthy, and go hug someone.
Because you never know. They may have just had their rectum fall out of their body.
Why'd you bring it back?
It's the Delta. The River Delta, Steven.
No, why did you bring it back?
Go and enjoy your rectums while you still
Think
have them.
of poor Gus-Gus.
Gus-Gus. All right, bye.
Oh, bye.
Hashtag Gravedigger, hashtag William Hunk.